Dude, we are totally winging this. It is totally fine.
Zoom in close on Chris. I'll just do one of these every once in a while.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
all right.
Okay,
yeah.
Exactly.
So we're here with Chris and Seth from the SongForWar. So Invictus Rex is the name of the company, right?
Invicta-Rex.
Invicta-Rex. All right. I was throwing extra letters in there. And so this is SongForWar. So this is operational combat in the Mediterranean in World War II. And some of y'all saw pictures of this over on Twitter, and like Fred freaked out. He's like, "Oh my God, what is this? I need it now!" And then everybody else wanted to just start inventing random games for Fred. So, all right, Chris, you're going to do the infomercial part of this. All right, tell us what are we dealing with here?
Hi everybody. Yep, this is SongForWar Mediterranean Theater. As Brant said, it's kind of an operational-based game. You're looking at the Mediterranean Theater of World War II. At this particular setup, you're looking in 1943 as a starting point, mid-1943. There's also a variant of the 1942 start at the beginning of Operation Torch. Primary objective, of course, is the Allies, with Great Britain in blue and the United States in green, facing the Germans, in this case in red, and the Italians in yellow, as the Allies are attempting to wrest control of the Mediterranean theater away from the Axis at this point in time, and can win the game by controlling any number of objectives across the board, and of course vanquishing the enemy.
All right, so those are the colored spaces, things like Crete and Tobruk and Alexandria there.
Right.
And, like, I'm not going to try to zoom in on Tunis from the other side of the table here, but just trust me, it's one of them. So.
Right, Balkans up here, Italy, Sicily.
There's Athens. We're not going to talk about Athens too much. So
It's a long story.
Yeah,
we don't want to get into it.
Yeah, I'm going to run out of battery before we can finish telling that story. So it's
Probably true. Right.
It involves a midget and a goat, and who knows what else.
Said too much already.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so what do we got floating around out here? We got some cruisers, we got some battleships, we got some destroyers. What else?
We do. Well, from a unit standpoint, there's a lot of the standard units that you'd be, if you've done any type of effort in wargaming in the past, it's got a lot of the standard units you can see: land, sea, air. From an air standpoint, you've got your standard, air transports, fighters, light bombers, and your heavies. Seas, standard type of units, your subs, destroyers, cruisers, aircraft carriers, battleships. And of course, you've got from the land, you've got your mechanized, your land transport, your infantry, tanks, artillery, and your anti-air. What makes the game a little different is we go through the process of, we really are not big fans of sequential movement and moving by nation by nation. The war was, the Allies fought and died together and won together and lost together in battles, and the Axis did the same. So the way the mechanics work is that you move by unit and the steps and the different types of units that move together, and you resolve battles in order, much more the way the battles were fought, using anti-air, using air bombardment, sea bombardment, amphibious assaults, and land units last. So this allows for a much stronger teamwork, much stronger co-op play, much stronger strategic planning, combined forces, and all the things that we think make it fun.
Yeah, and so when we were doing this the other day, just for the audience so you had your movement steps. So you started off with your fighters and subs, and then you move into the rest of the aircraft and a couple more of the naval units. But after that movement step number 1, you fight the entire set of combat steps, and then you go do movement step number 2, and then you'd fight the entire set of combat steps. So if there were still aircraft present, even if you didn't move them down there in step 3, you would still fight aircraft in the battle step 3. And so that again, like you said, that keeps a lot of things moving as people are playing. And so that's kind of so.
That's the goal anyway. It just puts a lot of emphasis on teamwork, combined forces, layering it, putting things in a better order to be strategically advantageous, and then using your different ways to win and control the theater where you can.
Yeah. All right. So, tell me about the German aircraft carriers in the Mediterranean.
Well, as I said, in our world, this is directionally historical, correct? There is an element of fun. There are German aircraft carriers in the Mediterranean. There's also could be a railway gun or other things that maybe didn't make an appearance. But at the end of the day, it's about having fun and having a good time. So
yeah. So there's some artistic license y'all took for this.
Absolutely, for the sake of fun, it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, it was fun the other day trying to figure out where to put the aircraft carriers to make sure the planes had somewhere to go back to after they're fighting somewhere else, and so that was fine.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And you can put your German aircraft carriers, all the ones you want in your hidden fleet, and you can stick them off in a corner somewhere if it makes you feel better.
Just put them in space K7. They'll be
That's
fine.
what I'm saying. Which is a running joke because we have at least 3 or 4 K7 spaces on the board, so you have your choice.
Yeah.
That's
So.
right.
So the hidden fleet, I'm going to come over here. So we got a hidden fleet marker here, and what's kind of cool is that you've got to put what space it's in on the back, and so again, what is this one? This one's saying H3, so wherever H3 is out there on the map, that's where the fleet is. So you can keep the location marked, and that way you've got a record of where it is. When you finally say, here it is, it was there all along, you can prove that it was there, and so, it's...
And it creates an element of surprise, an element of a fog of war type of piece that you can use to be really kind of a jerk to your enemies.
All right, so let's be honest. Has anybody ever moved anything off of Gibraltar way down there at the end of the map?
Excellent question.
Yes, not as often as one would think, but what Gibraltar is a giant weak point for the enterprising Axis, who can squeeze some victory points when the Allies are over-focused and over-rotating in the middle of the board with certain sides.
Everywhere else,
Gibraltar can be a real problem.
So, was it an intentional move out of Gibraltar, or did somebody just knock the pieces over, leaning over the board to do something else?
I don't have to divulge that in the public forum,
Yeah.
but
Fair enough.
that's right. That's right.
All right, so there's our Italians sort of hanging out there in Toronto, and there's Naples, and so
Right.
So look, I had a good time the other day, and it wasn't just because I won, right? It was actually a good time.
Yeah, I guess I had a good time, and it wasn't because I lost again.
Lost horribly.
Right? As a designer, I literally rarely, if ever, win my own game, but I guess that's kind of a good thing if new people can beat me regularly, right, Seth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get the info right there for everybody to see on the video, so that they can pick that up. So we got some cards for some technology upgrades. We got mines we can throw out on the map. So they're not yours, they're mines.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that joke's never gonna get old.
Yeah. You can't post that fast enough.
Yeah. Variety of dice, because the variable dice matter for matching types of armament to the armor you're trying to penetrate. So
Right.
Lots of D12s, which are, it's nice to have something non D6 that you're playing with. So that's cool too. So
It allows for a little variation, and in that way, different things can have different abilities or weaknesses versus different units. So it allows for a little more fun. Yeah.
yeah, cool. All right, so when can someone buy this thing? We don't know yet, do we?
Well, we do. I can't give you any specific dates, but right now we're on track to really target this summer for the kickstart of this. We've got a little bit of lifting to do. Got some great feedback today on some of the rules and some of the things we need to improve. We can't have 4 spaces at K7, so we're going to go ahead and fix that.
Which is surprising to both of us.
Which is surprising because we thought for sure that was a good that was a go.
winning deal.
So so we're going to fix that. But we got a lot of good feedback. We've got some rule work to do, but we're going to stay connected with the community, and we're really aiming for this summer to have this out. So appreciate everyone keeping an eye out for it.
All right, so Origins, they can come join us, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Several games at Origins.
Yeah. So these guys are gonna be hanging out with us at the Dragoons at Origins, and so what did we end up putting on the calendar for you guys? 5 or 6 of these things?
I
I think
believe
there's 6.
I think it's 6.
No, I take it back. There's 5.
Yeah,
There's 5
okay.
total.
Each Wheaties.
Yeah, I think it's Wednesday for setup, but then games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then there's one Sunday morning. Right. So that's
Love to have you. Love to give it a try.
plenty of options for folks to come give it a play, and the whole thing fits in a little over 2 hours, taking the time to learn it as well. I think we blocked off the Origins events at 3 hours, although I don't recall for certain exactly what we submitted. Look, what we submitted and what shows up on the Origins website appear to be 2 different things at the moment, so we're trying to get some of that fixed anyway. But yeah, so look for our Origins preview, which will include all the scheduling on this. I'm just going to pan around the. All right, so we got some Malta going on there. There's Naples. There's Rome buried under a bunch of Italian dudes up there. Probably all drunk anyway. There's Palermo. So,
Too far.
Patton making a charge that way. For whatever reason, like there's stuff over there on Corsica, right? You guys just bored. So. They're out there working on their tans. There's that one lonely little German unit out there in the desert that nobody ever molests because as long as you just leave them alone,
I'll have you know.
anyone.
In our game today, that was the half point that won the game.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that half point made the difference.
That half point made the win.
Outstanding.
Yeah. So
It's nice to know that guy was useful for something.
yeah, he died valiantly
He died
in a losing effort. Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Thanks, Brant.
guys, thank y'all very much for taking a minute. We set a 2-minute video and we're going on 9 and change. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's fine. People got nothing better to do than watch this. So all is good.
Thanks,
cool.
Joe.
Looking forward to seeing you guys at Origins, and y'all have fun. Thanks.
Take care.
Thank you.